2026 is going to be an awesome year. We got some pretty cool stuff coming up. First off, we got Foundations of Recovery. This is our flagship program. We're starting it in January.
This is for anyone, man, woman, or couple who wants to come and reclaim their heart from shame, trauma, and betrayal. We start off with an education on all sorts of principles, give you the common language. We feed you from a fire hose in terms of all things recovery.
It is such a great start to recovery. And we get at the roots of things, Tyler. This isn't like any other program. Like, this is our healing journey in process, and Foundations is where we begin.
If you look at the value that you're getting there to kick off a good recovery with all of the right education, all of the right language, and a team to get you started while also being directed by Brannon and myself through the whole process, what a deal.
So if you're interested, if you're struggling, if you've been wanting to do something for a long time, jump into this. This only comes around every so often, and we would love to have you there.
Click the link in the description to sign up for it. And to make it even sweeter, we're also including a raffle for a free pass to the Radiant Dawn retreat. Anyone who signs up for Foundations will be added to the raffle for that free Radiant Dawn pass. If you're a man and you sign up for Foundations, your name still gets entered, and you can give that pass away if you win it to any woman that you want to.
So what you're saying, Tyler, is if you sign up and participate in Foundations, you could possibly go to Radiant Dawn for free?
That's exactly what I'm saying, which is crazy because Foundations by itself is already an insane value.
Man, I sound so salesy. But it actually is awesome. So come to Foundations. And even if you don't come to Foundations, sign up for Radiant Dawn. It's beyond therapy, the best healing experiences that you can have.
Click the link below and come join us.
Hey guys, this is Brannon, the host of the Ask Brannon Anything show. This is the show where we take the most awkward, difficult, challenging questions that are keeping you stuck in your relationships and stuck in your addictions. We break them down, we discuss them, we validate you, we give advice, and we empathize. And most importantly, we help you find truth so you can get unstuck. If you have a question, whatever it may be, go to brannonpatrick.com and submit a question there for the show. What's up, guys? Welcome to Ask Brannon Anything. Today's topic is one of, I think, the most important topics that there is for anybody. And where this comes from for me is having experienced it myself personally, but also watching all of the people that I work with and the messages that I get, and the suffering that I see take place in the world, I believe can be alleviated by this one concept. This topic is really about finding joy, gratitude, and embracing your life. And what is getting in the way of finding that joy and gratitude and being able to, I call it being able to dance, being able to be and live in the moment right now. There's a great video, just a small speech by a guy named Alan Watts. And he talks about how we're too focused on the destination. We're trying to get somewhere. We're taught that it's all about the light at the end of the tunnel or climbing to the mountain peak. And that's when joy comes. That's when accomplishment happens. Now, it's true, if you have a goal and you're working hard towards something, it feels really good to reach that goal. The problem with this way of thinking is it sets you up to not be able to feel happiness and gratitude and peace while you're trying to get to that goal. It even goes further with religion, where we have this model where we need to earn it. We need to earn our salvation or earn our way to heaven, that we have this goal that we're working toward. And so once we're righteous enough, once we're good enough, then we'll be exalted. The problem with that is we're rejecting ourselves our entire life. We're saying we're not enough, we're not enough, we're not enough. And I'm striving to become enough. What if you are enough right now? What if you're perfect in your imperfections right now? And you can be grateful for who you are in this moment. That nothing needs to change. That you're okay. There's no destination. Some of you might be listening to this thinking, that's not what I've been taught my whole life. My whole life, what I've been taught. I know my whole life, what I was taught was you need to work hard, endure to the end, hold on, be righteous, choose the right, and then you will get there one day. And my childhood was spent thinking, well, if I lust a little bit, or if I steal, or if I lie, then I have a lot of work to go in order to be enough. I do believe in progression, but I don't think progression comes through rejection of yourself and forcing yourself to try to be better. I actually believe progression comes from something much different. That we don't need to try to get there one day in order to progress. There's nothing that we need to earn. We don't need to earn God's love. Think about religion has this context where a lot of religions have these beliefs where this life is supposed to be spent working toward something. School's the same way. We have grades. You go to first grade, second grade. Eventually, you're graduating with your graduate degree or whatever. But it's this model where we have to work towards something, and eventually we get there. And we have graduation, and they play the song, and everybody gets their diploma. And in that moment, they're happy. But right after that moment that they graduate, they're thrown out into the real world, and they start all over again. Now you have to build your career. Now you have to find clients. Now you have to really gain skills, the ones that you didn't actually learn in school, to actually figure out whether or not you're going to make it in the marketplace. So although it's a great accomplishment, and I'm not trying to diminish the accomplishment of graduation, the graduation in and of itself is just a fleeting moment in time. It feels good. You take pictures with your family. Everybody's happy. You go out to eat. You have a good time. But then on with your life. When you climb to the top of that mountain peak, or when you get to that light at the end of the tunnel, every time, what happens again is you're thrown right back into life. What I'm suggesting is that we don't spend our lives in search of the light at the end of the tunnel or the mountain peak. We don't spend our lives trying to get to that graduation or that income level or that relationship that you should have, that marriage that you should have. But rather, we enjoy the moment that we're in every step of the way. That we can dance through life. Now, when I talk about dancing, what I'm talking about is being. If you, Alan Watts in his video, he talks about an orchestra and the conductor of an orchestra. And, if the goal with music was to get to the end, then the conductor would just wrap it up as fast as he could because, yay, they got to the end. With music, when energy's flowing and you're feeling and you're experiencing, you're not concerned about the end. You're just in it. You're just experiencing that music and that art. Dancing is the same. Just last night, I walked in my kitchen and my daughter was blasting the music and she was dancing. And so I thought, I'm going to join her. And so, old fat dad, me, I was busting some moves, and I gotta say, I still I got it. I'm a pretty good dancer still. But something more important happened. My phone was put down. I wasn't concerned about this virus that's taking over the world. I wasn't concerned about the earthquake that we had here in Utah yesterday. I wasn't freaking out about what's going to happen with my business or how I'm going to pay my bills next month or what I need to work toward. What I was doing was dancing with my daughter. And we had smiles on our faces. We were moving, we were grooving, we were in the moment. Now, that's literal dancing. Let's talk about figuratively dancing your way through life. When you sit in that board meeting, can you dance? Absolutely. Be in that board meeting. Experience that board meeting. Feel it while you're there. Be as mindful as you possibly can be and find gratitude for being in that experience right now. I was one of my favorite things to talk about is something that has been taught to me, which is to focus on the inputs into your life, not the outcomes. What that means is to let go of how it's all going to shake out, but to be mindful in the moment and aware of what's going on so that in your integrity, you can add the things that you really feel like need to be in your life. My inputs that I believe are really important for me, and I feel between God and I that they're important, is my wife, my kids, obviously. My job is an important input into my life. I love my job. I love what I do. And I'm grateful for it. Meditation, exercise, an important input into my life. Doing things with my family, getting out, camping, experiencing the world, an important input into my life. Golf is an important input into my life, even though I suck at it. Golf's a great example of this. If I would go golfing to try to get a certain score and force myself to get that, I'd be very frustrated. Now, I go and I do my best and I practice, but I go to just be there, to just experience that course that day. And I let go of the outcomes. Now, I add those inputs into my life, meditation, my family, golf, whatever it may be, and then I watch to see what gets created and what happens from there. Here's a myth. If I'm not focused on results, then I won't be motivated. I won't be motivated to create what I want in my life. That's a myth. And I'm going to walk you through three things that happen, or three things that you can do in order to overcome that myth and actually experience creation. What I mean by that is you will create more in your life if you let go of this results-oriented model. Okay? So again, this is a myth. If I'm not focused on results, I won't be motivated. And what I would replace that with is if you are more mindful and experience your life more, you will create more in your life. If you can let go of this contingency model of God's love, if you can let go of, I've got to work my way to this mountain peak, and you just fully embrace the moment that you are in, then you will create more. Now, I'm talking about embracing pain, talking about embracing stress and frustration. This virus is a good example of this. We can think about it a couple of ways. We don't know when this is going to end. And because we don't know when this is going to end, it's making us come back to this moment and say, okay, day to day, what is the best thing for us? And there's a lot of surrender that has to go on. But we can reject that this virus is here and fight against it, or we can embrace this experience and fully immerse ourselves in what is happening and actually end up finding some gratitude for what's happening, going on in our lives right now. But it takes some real surrender. And when I talk about surrender, what I'm talking about is dancing, is embracing the moment and embracing the experience. So here's some ways to actually let go of the results and to create good, positive outcomes in your life. First step is to know yourself. Okay? So we're all different, and we all are going to create different things in our lives. One of the big problems with all the school debt that's going on and people getting out of school and not actually liking what they do or finding jobs that they want is that they fall into a system. They're should it all over, meaning people tell them what they should be and what they should do. They go through this system where they do what they are supposed to do to work toward what they're supposed to work toward. And all along, they are not being true to themselves. They're not in their integrity because they are actually living for somebody else or just going along with the systems that are given to them. To know yourself means to understand what purpose God has for you on this earth. And you might have to overcome the systems and the shoulds and the contingency models that are before you in order to truly step into that and to be. I have a friend who he struggles with some learning disabilities. He's one of the most brilliant men that I know. And he went to kindergarten, he went to school, and he was told that he was stupid in a roundabout way. Maybe somebody said that directly to him, but he was told that he was stupid. And he was supposed to learn how to read this way. He was supposed to do things this way or that way or whatever. And they tried to force him to do it over and over, and he could not do it. And he by the end of high school, he was a heaping pile of shame. I suck. I'm stupid. I'm not enough. I'm not okay. I've watched him work through that and actually let go of trying to fall into the systems in order to be okay. And he's really getting to know himself now. And a couple of things about him is he's an amazing builder. With his hands, he's brilliant. He's a creator. He's an artist. He's one of the most brilliant men that I know. And yeah, he can't read like we're supposed to. He doesn't fall into the system, but when he takes a step back and he just is him, he just bees, he is him, then his brilliance comes out, his beauty comes out, and his creations start to happen. I remember when I was in second grade, I had a friend, and this friend of mine started, we'd do like these little art projects, and he started to draw things, and I couldn't draw like him. And I was like, why? Like, I want to be as good as him. And he would draw these things, and they were amazing. And I remember my thinking was, well, what's wrong with me? He's good. I want to be as good as him. What's wrong with me? Now I look at that and I think he was given a gift. And as he would create those drawings, he was creating art, he was dancing, he was flowing in what God gave him. I have different gifts than him. I flow in different ways than him. And instead of trying to force myself to be what he is, or to be what I'm told that I'm supposed to do, through a lot of courage, you start to accept and step into those gifts that you have so that you can know yourself. Here's some things I know about me. I know that I'm really connected to people and care deeply about their well-being. I know that I can say awkward, hard, weird, strange things to people that other people can't say. I know that I'm deeply empathetic. I know that I like to get a laugh with people. My humor is important to me. I'm a connector. I care so much about connecting as many people as I can, and that my family's connected. My other siblings care less about that than I do. I care a lot about that. I care that my family really has some strong bonds and connections. And I'm not saying that my siblings are wrong because they don't have that, or bad. I'm just saying that's something I know about me. And I could go on and on. You guys don't want to hear all about me, but I was given a lot of systems that I was supposed to fall into. And, you know, I was supposed to be the captain of the basketball team, straight A student, perfectly Mormon, whatever guy. Well, those were the systems that were given me. I've had to find myself despite that. And because of those systems and working through that, it's helped me know myself better. Okay, so first step is know yourself. You will feel it when you step into your power, when you are stepping into what God made you to be. Okay. The next step is to let go of the outcomes. Just step in. Let go of the outcomes. Watch to see what God creates through you. Notice how I said that. What God creates through you. And you might not know the exact path that this stuff is going to get created, and you might not know exactly what is getting created, but just step into it anyways. Let go of the outcomes, and you will do brilliant, amazing things in your life. You will create connection, and you will create masterpieces. Okay, the last one is to find gratitude and joy in the process. Okay, the process. Or what most of our life is the process. In fact, our life is a process. So it's not the light at the end of the tunnel that is the gift. It's actually the tunnel itself. So while you're in the midst of it, while you're letting go of the outcomes, you're stepping into your power, stop and dance. Flow. Feel the energy as you're creating. A lot of the people that I talk with, they're saying, Brannon, I'm struggling. I'm not happy. There's a void in my life. And they want an answer so that they can get to the promised land. And the answer is not about, rolling your station wagon into the promised land. The answer is actually about embracing and accepting exactly what you're in right now. Now, you might be saying, Brannon, I'm listening to this, and right now my marriage is in a horrible place. I'm in debt. I'm sick, physically ill. I'm supposed to be happy right now? You want me to be happy right now? You want me to dance and flow and all this stuff, that you're talking about sounds so wonderful. You want me to just step into that and be happy right now? First off, I would be empathetic and validate your pain. I get it. Like I'd want to say to you, that's hard. The things that you're going through are hard and painful, difficult. We all have things. And I would also say, you can either cause yourself more suffering by rejecting the reality of your life, or you can find some gratitude and joy in your pain, in your current reality, if you choose to. God is blessing you right now. And some of the biggest blessings that you have going on right now are the hardest things that you're going through. So flow through those hard things, step into those hard things, work through those hard things so that you can become stronger. Don't resist it. Don't overly cling to it either, but just be with it, step into it, know it. Believe that those things are being put in your life for a reason. And the scary part is you don't know how it's all going to end up. You might end up divorced. You might end up with horrible health problems. That might be the result of all the things that you're going through right now. But you don't know. So right now, what you have is what you have. And you can embrace that. And you can figure out how to dance in it. Right now, there's earthquakes going on. There's viruses going on. My kids are stuck at home all day long. My business is threatened by all of this. And we can reject those things, or I say I can reject those things, or I can embrace those things right now. I'm actually really looking forward to the outcomes of what's going to happen with all of this, whatever the outcomes may be. And I surrender that over completely. So I challenge you guys to surrender it over, let go of it. I had this trip planned to Peru, a healing retreat planned to Peru, and so excited for it. There was 10 people going, and the 10 people that are going are just amazing. Just the people going is going to create an awesome trip for all of us, and we just had to cancel it. We postponed it until September. And I was talking to them about postponing it. We were all bummed out. We were all kind of like, dang it. But I was saying, this is good, I believe. Maybe we're not ready to go. And I'm not saying work yourself to get ready. But what I'm saying is, maybe now's just not the time. So let's accept that the reality is things are outside of our control. We can't go right now. I believe other things are happening, but I don't know. I'll let go. I'll surrender. I think there might be 2 or 3 other people that need to go and need to go in September. And that's why we had to postpone our trip. So thank you, coronavirus. The outcomes are going to be awesome, whatever they are. Turn on the music today, you guys. And I'm not kidding. Actually, turn on some music today. Let your body flow. Let your body move. Be present in that moment. Kids love to do this. So if you have kids, dance with your kids today and let go of all of the shame and the shoulds and the contingency models of everything, and just be in that moment and experience the music. You guys are awesome. Thanks for listening. If you liked this episode, then please share it. And please, you guys, rate and review the podcast. And have a wonderful day. Keep dancing. See you guys.